Hi everybody, welcome. It's Lolie Nakazawa here, and today we're going to be getting into some VTuber newsy news. But before we do, please make sure to smash subscribe, hit the like, ring the bell, and if you can, please follow me on Twitch. All right, excellent. On to our very first piece of newsy news. This is Nina Kosaka. So Nina Kosaka was a female English virtual YouTuber affiliated with NIJISANJI EN's third wave. All right. So Nina had graduated and become Matara-kun. So Matara-kun is now an English-speaking VTuber affiliated with VSHOJO. Okay? So then there was Mista Rias, who was NIJISANJI's fourth wave of Luxium. So Mista's turned into Kuro. So Kuro is now affiliated with VSHOJO. Okay? Nina became Matara. Mista became Kuro. And now everyone works for VSHOJO. Okay, so why am I telling you this? So an interesting video has come up where Kuro and Matara talk about their old employer. So let's take a listen, shall we?
They sent me a message. They were like, is it okay if we restock this merchandise? And I was like, actually, thank you for asking. I would prefer that you didn't. I would really just want to, you know, like leave and let everybody lie down and forget. They're like, oh, no, we weren't asking. We're just letting you know that we're restocking this merchandise. And I was like, okay, then why did you say, is it okay? Why did you say, is it okay? They did restock a lot of merchandise right before I left. And I'm supposed to receive a percentage of that.
Oh.
I don't think I'm ever receiving.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ever going to receive that percentage. I don't think I'm.
Right.
I never received it.
I mean.
And it's one of those things where it's like, they definitely got merch again.
Right.
Before, when I was leaving to sell it.
There's even stuff with me, you know, like there's like plushies and stuff that are still in like those crane games and stuff. There's also a lot of animate stuff that's still around. I saw when I went to Japan. But it is what it is.
Oh my god, when I was in animate, I was like, oh, there's me and there's Calli.
Oh my god.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, at this point, I don't even give a shit.
What do you expect from a crappy company, right? Anyway, so this is post on the Kuro-sanji subreddit, posted by Last Power. And it says, Roach Mommy can't catch a break because NIJISANJI still wanted her money and merch after her graduation. It seems NIJI contract is indeed a contract. And let's see what the good people on Reddit got to say. Thought I would not have another facepalm or surprise about NIJI. I was wrong. Aaron says, at this point, there are very few things NIJISANJI could do that would surprise me. Maximum says, at this point, NIJI may as well build one company town where all its employees are paid in bonds. The only way they have access to the outside world is through the company's store. You literally owe your soul to the company. Yeah, honestly, like it's really starting to become that way, isn't it? If anyone needs a reminder, NIJISANJI is a black company, absolutely terrible practices. They treat their employees awful to the point where some employees don't want to be on this planet anymore. Just a reminder, NIJI's crap. They've always been crap. I feel like the redemption arc is nowhere. It's not gonna happen. So anyways, it's not surprising. Like, is it okay if I stock the merch? No, I don't want you to stock the merch. Oh, I wasn't asking. Excuse me? Like, then what is this? Anyways, this is just so embarrassing. Oh my God, really awful. They treat their employees poorly. They treat their fans poorly. And obviously they're just in it for the money. And it's very, very clear. All right, on to our next piece of newsy news. Speaking of NIJISANJI being a crappy company, this is Aia Amare, and Aia Amare is a female English virtual YouTuber affiliated with NIJISANJI 6th Wave Illunia. Okay, so why are we talking about Aia? This is a post on the Kuro-sanji subreddit, and this is posted by Deli the Kid, and it says, all of Aya's streams in September had their monetization limited by YouTube. What? Nani? So this is posted on Aya's community tab here. It's a screenshot of it. And Aya says, so YouTube just limited my monetization for literally every stream in September. I haven't checked in a while, so I guess that was my fault. But I've had a history of getting wrongly marked as such, requesting it to be reviewed again, and then it just getting lifted the next day. And I only found out about this because I randomly decided to check today, noticing that several of my streams this month were limited despite not breaking rules. I find it pretty ridiculous that I have to constantly look over my shoulder and check if YouTube is randomly limiting my ad revenue for literally no reason. And meanwhile, they let some insane slop pass on YouTube. I recall seeing a thumbnail on a short video a while ago of someone getting their eyes gouged out. That's so horrible. And it was on the front page just chilling, and I'm over here getting limited monetization for no reason. I mean, it's not the end of the world since ad revenue is just whatever to me. But it just sucks to know that the platform has allowed this to happen for no reason. It just sucks, right? It's really weird though, if you think about it, guys. If it's really weird for a corporate VTuber to have to like look into all of their own analytics and stuff like that. You'd think that there would be like a project manager to look into this. But anyways, let's continue. Let's see what the people on Reddit got to say. Spring says, isn't that her manager's job to check her monetization? Right, exactly. Like, what's the point of being part of a corporation if all the perks of being part of a corporation aren't there? It makes no sense. Shirabana says, if only she was part of some kind of company with management that could check so that she wouldn't have to worry about it. Like, NIJISANJI has access to all these channels. It literally doesn't take much to look up a stream if it's monetized or not. Even if they don't care about their livers, they probably have their share of this ad revenue. All in all, it's not a good look on the management. Again, it's so bizarre because like we're like, oh yeah, obviously NIJI, all they care about is money. It's like, but they let this slip through their fingers too. It's like a gong show over there, guys. Like, it's a little bit insane. Chemical says, where is the manager when you need it? She really has to randomly stumble to even see this. WTF. YouTube algorithm is being an ass, nothing new, but NIJI not even checking the monetization of their livers? Sucks for her. Hopefully it gets resolved. Probably too much to ask her corpo to do their job on this one. The main point of this story is that, like, as an indie, right, you have control of everything, which is great. However, as a corporate person, you would hope that you have the luxuries of being in a corporation, like, for example, an HR department, you know, like a dedicated manager, all these things, right? So that way you can just stream and not have to worry about it. But the fact that, like, you have to worry about this too, what is the point? What is the point of being part of a corporation if they don't deliver on their promises? You know, NIJI has just been dealing L's the entire year. I mean, guys, we're in October at this point, and like, I'm not running out of stuff to talk about because they're dealing in L's every day. It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, so obviously that sucks for Aya. Hopefully she can figure out how to get monetization back. But otherwise, yeah, that's something that her literal manager should be in charge of. Anyways, but yeah, this is what's happening over at NIJI. So like, it's unfair to the talents, it's unfair to the livers. The fact that they have to share revenue with this company that is not fulfilling their end of the bargain. The livers, they go stream, they do their job, but for some reason, NIJI gets away with not doing theirs. This is absolute bananas. Okay, on to our next piece of newsy news. So this is MikeNeko. Guys, we've talked about MikeNeko a lot on this channel, but if you don't know who MikeNeko is an independent Japanese VTuber who streams primarily on YouTube. She is in the VTuber industry. She's gone by many names, many alter personas. However, this is her indie self. So anyways, what is MikeNeko up to today, guys? Well, to give you some context of what I'm about to show you. So MikeNeko has been going through a really messy divorce with MafuMafu, who is a musical Japanese artist. Just to kind of give you a reminder of what happened on October 8th, she and MafuMafu had both dropped the suit against each other. They were going to Japanese court and it was going to get messy. Okay, so just to give you context on what that was. So like, each of them released a statement that was very like peaceful and very, you know, like obviously written by lawyers, you know, stuff like that, right? And I was saying, I'm like, hold on. If we know MikeNeko like we do, this is not going to stop here. But I'm like, you know what? Maybe she's matured. So anyways, as predicted, she didn't. So here's the new stuff. So this is posted on MikeNeko's Twitter/X account. And well, as you're aware in the VTuber community, if you see black and white text on a VTuber's Twitter, something's up. So this is the obviously machine translated version of it. So it's not going to be perfect, but we'll go through it. Okay. MikeNeko states, "We are very sorry for the trouble this has caused. The statement made by the other party has given rise to various speculations and has caused an uproar. So I would like to express my feelings. First of all, it was the court that proposed the settlement. Not only was it communicated to the other party, but the court also communicated it to me at the same time. In the end, we proposed concrete measures such as not interacting with each other and not interfering with activities. But the settlement was reached at the initiative of the court. I did not unilaterally request a settlement. Therefore, I would like you to understand that this was not the case of one party giving up, but rather the issue was resolved with mutual consent. Regarding the contents of my statement, I wrote that I was not having an affair because I was being slandered on the internet every day due to words and actions of the other person in another streamer's stream. The statement I made was reviewed in advance by the court and the opposing party and was also incorporated into the settlement. I would not settle if I could not post that. Also, the court was neutral and did not judge which side was more favorable. The court officials considered the future of both of us and proposed a compromise. They also advised me to value my time. I have always had a strong desire to forge my own future, and even if I was not satisfied, I felt that it would be fine if we could come to a settlement clause stating that we could no longer have contact with each other or interfere with their work activities. I was diagnosed with PTSD on May 2023 and was mentally and physically exhausted. So, although there were various allegations in the trial, I accepted the settlement, hoping to be able to convey in a statement that I did not do anything that I did not do. There were also many things I didn't want to remember, and the pain in my heart only deepened to the point where I could no longer laugh properly, even on live streams, so the trial was extremely painful. Criminal proceedings against each other were underway, with conclusion expected at the end of September. No matter what the decision was, I intended to reflect on it carefully and do my best for the future. However, before that happened, the other party finally agreed to my statement, which they had initially rejected, and the matter was smoothly settled. Regarding the settlement, I made a statement and we both said that the matter had been resolved. I wanted to avoid any further trouble, so I had the other party and the court check the contents of my statement in advance. I am very surprised that the other party issued a statement without any checking by me or the court. The reason I issued the statement again is because I had asked the other party to correct the statement, but they did not comply. There were some expressions that could be misunderstood, so I will correct them properly. In the end, we were able to reconcile and it was good for both of us. I hope that in the future, each of us will be able to walk our own path and find happiness. I won't say more unless it's necessary. Thank you for reading. I'm not very good at handling things and I'm not the cleverest, so I always check with the lawyer before I make a statement, so I apologize if my statements sound a bit stiff. I always end up not being able to express myself well enough, and because I'm clumsy, I make mistakes. From now on, I will try to take a moment to think things through before posting anything. I am truly sorry for causing your concern. I am not a perfect person, but I'll keep trying my best. Thank you for reading. Okay, so long story short, she was miffed because her statement had to go through the court and MafuMafu's party, but MafuMafu's statement didn't have to go through the court or her. So I think that's why she's a little bit miffed, because when MafuMafu made his statement, it was worded to the point where more speculation could happen. So I think that's kind of like what she's trying to clear up here. Has she cleared it up? Not really, no. In fact, I'm even maybe more confused than I was when I first read it. I don't know if she's just trying to poke the bear again with this statement. It's a whole lot of text for really not a whole lot of more information. It's a little bit confusing, but let's see what some of the people on Twitter got to say. Sparky says, thank you for the statement. I hope we can move on from this and see lots more from you. Dan says, I will support you. Itazi says, no matter what happened, please don't give up on us. We are with you always. And Voxel says, thanks for the clarification. I support you always. So we'll see if MafuMafu has anything to say about this or if they're just going to leave it at that. All right, on to our next piece of newsy news. This is Mori Calliope. Mori Calliope is a female English-speaking virtual YouTuber associated with Hololive. Okay, so this is a video that we're going to watch together. It says, Calli got diagnosed with permanent lung damage. Okay, so let's take a listen.
Oh yeah, so I went to the doctor. Turns out, probably September-ish, without knowing it, and possibly from being in the great ol' NYC, I caught myself the C bug. I got it without even knowing it.
Wow.
I recovered from it pretty quick. There's been permanent damage done to my lungs.
Oh no.
That like, some of it will heal, some of it will not. I got an x-ray and the doc showed me permanent damage on my lungs.
Whoa.
And he's like, look at those scars. I'm like, oh my
wow.
God. And I said, will the stabbing pain go away? And the doc said, it should go away eventually, but you have to stop coughing. So I got a bunch of medicines.
So, wow. So it sounds like Calli, when she went to New York, got a case of COVID, and it's now caused her permanent lung damage, which is very scary. It's sad. It's sad, especially when like VTubing, such an important part of your job is using your voice. Hopefully the coughing will stop and she'll be able to recoup some of her lungs. That's horrible. Like, it can happen to anyone, guys. So like, it's not like anything she did wrong, living out her life, and that happens. It's very unfortunate, and it's still something that's still pretty prevalent. So yeah, obviously poor Calli, that's no good. Hopefully she's able to get the coughing under control and hopefully do a little bit more healing. So Calli, we're sending you healing vibes, and hopefully you'll be able to recover a little bit more. On to our next piece of newsy news. So this is Michi Mochievee, who is a English and Indonesian speaking virtual YouTuber affiliated with VSHOJO. And this is Matara-kun, who is also with VSHOJO. This is Kuro VSHOJO as well. So what are we talking about? That same stream that I showed you earlier had also some other information about it as well. So it's posted on the NIJISANJI subreddit, and this is posted by rip_CPU. It says, Matara pushed Michi to leave that company. When they say that company, they mean NIJISANJI.
The moment I was like, I'm getting out, I didn't, again, it was way before VSHOJO, everything. I was like, I'm getting out. I was like, I'll tell you what it's like on the other side when I'm out. And then I got out, and then VSHOJO happened, and then I was like, girl, I am telling you, give me like a little bit of time to get myself situated, and then you're leaving. I was actually being kind of a pushy, like, again, I try not to be a pushy friend because I know that everybody has their boundaries, but with Michi, I know that if I am pushy, she knows that it's from a place of love and not from a bad place. Like September, I was like, you need to leave. October, I was like, you need to leave, by the way. November, I was like, by the way, you need to leave, because also like, I didn't want to reveal other people's stuff, but I knew that like some other people were planning as well. It's like, Michi, you need to leave. I promise you, I will not let you fail. Like, I promise you, I will collab with you. I promise you, we will do stuff every day. I promise you, like, you're gonna love Twitch. But I was on her ass, and I even I was like, me and him are not gonna let you die. I think it's gonna kill you. Your creativity. You're gonna be a shell of a woman.
Wow.
It's not gonna improve for you. You're still. I was like, look at the facts. It's been how many years? Like, this is an abusive relationship.
Right. Yeah.
But I was like, every week I'd be like, so when are you getting out? And then I think she talked about it, so I can kind of like say it. She was getting ghosted a little bit. Okay. She talked about it. She was getting ghosted a little bit by management.
No.
And I was like,
oh no.
I was like, call them. Tell them. I'm like, they're trying to delay it. They're trying to like make you miss, like, I was like, no, call them. No. You want to leave. Let them know. Like, go to a lawyer, draft up a letter. I was so on her ass.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
I was like, I squeezed that girl out of there.
So essentially, like, long story short, Matara helped push Michi to leave NIJI. And it looks like Kuro also helped as well. So let's see what some of the people on Reddit got to say about it. So Realistic says, we all effing need a Matara in our life. No kidding, eh? Wow. Academic says, like the fox mom she was known as, she protects her children and ensures their safety. Yeah, like, honestly, we all need a friend like her. Absolutely. Feisty said, yet another confirmation that managers intentionally cockblock livers and their projects. I feel like every branch, in this case EN, became sort of separate government on its own, where they cut off most communication with the main branch and try to control the livers on their own terms. Then power tripping happens, and you get a bunch of bots who become afraid to speak, and even casual back and forth with management is seen as a fight for them. She says the managers intentionally ghost livers so that they miss contract renewal windows where they can dip out. And any activity on company accounts counts as agreement. So this funny loophole is why they can't graduate whenever they want unless a lawyer is involved. And then here it says, Hirai says, the tragedy here is that there are two takeaways from this whole revelation. The ones that got away, they ultimately won. Second, dispassionate and disconnected managers that do jack shit. Nothing has changed considering how the same thing supposedly happened to Enna recently. Shihomi says the fact that they're trying so hard to advocate for her is heartwarming. If you leave, we will support you. It's one thing when fans say it, but it's another thing when a trusted friend says that. In this day and age, it's nice to have a friend who cares like that and actually like advocates for you. So it's really amazing that really like Matara was very instrumental in getting Michi out of NIJI. So thank goodness for that. On to our next piece of newsy news. All right, this is VALLURE. If you remember, VALLURE is a VTuber agency, and they are a spicy agency. They're a lewd tuber agency. Okay, why are we talking about VALLURE? Well, VALLURE, one of their talents, their name is Strony Cuddles, who is a female Scottish VTuber affiliated with VALLURE's first generation Indulge. Okay, this is posted on the virtual YouTuber subreddit, and this is posted by Danganronpa, and it says, VTuber Strony Cuddles raises over 40K USD to fund Gen 2 and 3 of VALLURE. Congrats. So that is incredible. For one talent to raise that much to get 2 more generations out the door is wow. So Stroni says, I could never have imagined in my wildest dreams that a VTuber who has only been at it for 4 months would have found so much success in the first donathon, and there isn't even a need for another. You have brought life to the 12 future VTubers under the wing of VALLURE. Says, thank you for the insane success to my donathon. Not only is Gen 2 of VALLURE in production, but there are funding for Gen 3 is also there. I couldn't have done it without you, Reeflings, and for that I am eternally grateful and in your debt. Total donathons was $44,415.66. I gotta say, that's a lot to have on one's shoulders. Like literally all of the work that Stroni did is now raising 2 generations of VTubers. Let's see what some of the people on Reddit got to say. Jira says, a lot of respect for her creating a seemingly successful agency when others are closing one after another. Okay, neat. I can't think of many VTuber orgs where the founder is also part of the agency, especially for an adult-oriented company. I guess VSHOJO has the original group, but I don't know if these ones are also owners of the company. Pating says, well, she's got a dream, that's for sure. When they first debuted, I kind of questioned the decision of debuting on YouTube rather than Twitch, since back then Twitch was the go-to place for this type of content that they make. But with the way Twitch has been enforcing their rules on VTubers on their platform, maybe it was a big brain play after all. YouTube is so strict with this type of content, so that's fantastic that they were able to find success, and yeah, so now you have 2 more generations to look forward to. So there you go, guys. I thought that was pretty interesting news. All right, on to our next piece of Newsy news. This is Hex Haywire. Yes, we've talked about Hex on this channel before, but if you don't know, Hex Haywire was a male English virtual YouTuber affiliated with NIJISANJI EN's 7th Wave Exio. All right, so why are we talking about Hex? Hex has graduated, right? Right? Well, for those who missed Hex is no longer with NIJI. However, Hex is still recording. Okay, so this is Hex Haywire's yell. Curio, this is where you'll find him. He has a new model. So this is the model here. Still kind of like smoky gaze situation. But however, since leaving NIJISANJI, Hex has like, you know what? I got to set up some boundaries here. So this is posted on the Kurosanji subreddit, and this is posted by Link's Raid saying, think he learnt? ? So it looks like Curio may be setting up some clear boundaries after the sickling fiasco. So when they say sickling, they mean that was the fan name here. The fan name is Sicklings, okay? Let's continue. To give you guys some context, when Hex was at NIJI, was a very problematic VTuber. Like there was so much there. Anyways, like, you know, like people would like trauma dump, people would like, you know, like hurt themselves, stuff like that. It was such a fanatic fan base to the point where it became toxic. Okay, so like I'm like with it saying, I gotta say it without saying it because some of it was a little bit insane. Anyways, so yeah, so now that you kind of have that context, let's go into these quote unquote rules and see what's actually there. All right, 1, absolutely no racism, sexism, homophobia, politics, bullying, or hate speech. I mean, that seems pretty fair. This includes drama. Anyone who brings drama from wherever, personal or beef with another content creator, this is not the place for it. That's fair. 2, please do not trauma dump or provide TMI about your personal life. This is for the maintenance of your security, mine, and the atmosphere of the stream. And it says, he doesn't need to know the very deep details of your personal life. He's streaming to hundreds of thousands of viewers at a time, so it's important to be careful. Keep your updates like how your day is short. He doesn't need long-winded explanations. And it says, he knows when to set his boundaries, so don't baby him. It says, number 4, no bullying other chat members. No doxing, no trash talking, and the like. Outside the stream is a personal matter. He can only control what happens on stream. 5, no excessive swearing or vulgar comments. 6, no self-promotion. 7, my streams are intended for a mature audience. Viewer discretion is advised. Point blank, no minors allowed. You will be banned. He is not an 18+ streamer, but he feels uncomfortable when minors watch. 8, I am not your boyfriend, best friend, or therapist. He is here to provide entertainment because he loves streaming. Most of this sounds like common sense, but it's not common sense if you were part of his original fan base because a lot of this was allowed back then. So it makes sense. He's stating his ground. He's like, hey, stuff that flew over there doesn't fly over here. Will people actually listen? That's the hope. Fingers crossed. It's going to be interesting to see how he curates his fan base now based on his previous content and then what he wants to create in the future. I don't know how it's gonna go, guys, but anyways, let's see what some of the people on Reddit gotta say. Evangeline says, I say give him around 2 to 6 months max to see if he sticks to it. If he does, then good for him and he learned. If not, then I don't even know anymore. Toxic Corgi says, it's good he's trying to set boundaries. If he actually sticks to them, he'll be much better off not having to worry about more unhinged fans. Only time will tell, though. Blah says, actually, it sounds good on paper. Problem is, he has a history of doing the exact opposite. And other livers have shown to have no issue putting their foot down. Honeydew says, there's a thing I learned when moving from one place to another. You don't always leave your problems behind. You just drag them to a different place. Last Power says, see Rules 8. I don't know. Really, I'm not your boyfriend. Best Fender therapist. I don't know. So yeah, long story short, these are the new rules for Curio's community. All right, on to our next piece of newsy news. This is, okay, I'll have to explain this one a little bit. This is regards to Mr. Underhill. So Mr. Underhill is a VTuber who did positive stories on NIJISANJI. Posts on the Kurosanji subreddit by Are You Slappin'? So this is a screenshot of the Twitter/X account for Mr. Underhill, who says graduation notice. And then it says important notice regarding the graduation of Mr. Underhill. Hey Parliament, I know this isn't the news you might want to hear, but today I have to announce my indefinite hiatus from all activities as Mr. Underhill. I started my channel not too long ago in May 2023, and I never could have guessed I'd build such a wonderful and kind community. In many ways, I feel like I'm leaving home and heading into the unknown. I only hope that I've made you proud. As much as this might take some getting used to, I'm really looking forward to this next chapter in my journey. That doesn't mean I won't miss all of you, though. You all created a place where I could always be comfortable. Here and there, I hope we'll bump into each other out in the world. Even if I can't be your tea-sipping owl man, hopefully you'll continue to support me in this decision. Never will I forget all the goofy times we had together. I'll think back on our time together with pride and fondness always. Until next time, Mr. Underhill. So, guys, the reason why I had to use this is because guess who blocked me? That's correct. Mr. Underhill does not like the content that I make, obviously talking about NIJI. So I am blocked, even though I've never ever interacted with this person in my life. But anyways, let's see what some of the people on Reddit got to say. Mathematician says, my issue with Underhill wasn't that he was trying to be a positive newstuber. If anything, it's noble of him to do that. My biggest issue with him was how much he was eating up the misinformation of NIJI sisters and taking them at face value. He was right there taking in and believing their spiel, including the whole, quote, the word NIJI sister is a slur thing. If it turns out later he's graduating because he joined NIJISANJI, then maybe he'll get a reality check. He'll finally know what's real and what's not, and he'll finally make his own opinion instead of that of NIJI sisters. Neck Rule says, I will admit, I used to watch his content before the incident and enjoyed it because he kept mostly drama-free. But things soured as he stuck his head in the sand after the incident. I had hoped he would have said something about what happened, but nope. He continued on like nothing happened and I was done. Edit. I can totally see him joining NIJI even after everything. Wouldn't even surprise me in the least that they would welcome him with open arms. Scary Law says he should join NIJI to have a taste of what he's been praising. Knitface says, while I wish him the best of luck on whatever he's doing, I unfortunately can't say that I'm sad to see him go. Since him wishing, quote, dramatubers ill, while False and Lady were actively harassed and received death threats, he hasn't exactly been one of my favorite people, to be perfectly honest. So, yeah. So, essentially, obviously, you don't wish people ill. Even people who have blocked me on Twitter, even though I've never, ever interacted with this person in my life. Whatever Mr. Underhill decides to do, wishing them all the best at this time. All right, on to the next piece of newsy news. This is posted on the Virtual YouTuber subreddit. This is just a commentary on, like, Twitch doing their ban on Lolie, Shota, Chibi stuff. So let's take a look here. From Murky Toe 4717. And it says here, as a short babyface woman, it really sucks to be barred from being myself in VTubing. So, like, here is my model roughly designed after my real life self. I'm a 4'1", non-curvy babyface woman, 18 plus. Twitch would almost certainly label me as a Lolie character, thus limiting me to say-so concept because of the new rules. It royally sucks. Why is it that the rules consistently infantize grown women who look younger? Can't we have rules in set without some draconian BS? Just because I get confused for being much, much younger, why is it that it's instantly, that's a child? Like, come on. This whole crackdown is a bad look for Twitch and is going to further perpetuate the negative stereotype that short women who look younger are not women and have no right to feel comfy behaving as such. I'm just frustrated. Anyone agree? Disagree? I'd love to hear what you think. I genuinely hate being constantly told I'm a P-word bait or some kind of Lolie show advocate because I'm a short woman who has to live through being constantly told I'm not an adult. Like, I feel like the new rules only perpetuate a terrible standard, which will lead to zero improvement in the child safety since people piloting all the supposed Lolie show characters are almost exclusively 18 plus and in a similar boat to me. Why is it people genuinely think they're bad? Sexualized characters who are not super mega curvy, I mean. I would absolutely love to hear a well put together reason to limit it, since the general arguments have been hella strawman and extremely weird. Who the F am I hurting by drinking on stream or making a crude joke or flirting with chat? It's like people genuinely can't tell the difference from a child and an adult in fiction or reality. Don't even get me started on how it's been IRL, cause nah. To be honest with you, that one doesn't seem so Lolie, but anyways, let's see what some of the people on Reddit gotta say. Zippy VTuber says, that model looks fine. I highly doubt they'd ban you, unless of course you had a super risky bathing suit or whatever. And Not Kenzie says, listen, I'm here to dunk on Twitch faster than the next guy, but like, I don't know, you're probably fine. Model doesn't look too chibi or childlike at all in my opinion. I think you're jumping the gun, imagining a scenario that's probably never going to happen. Okay, anyways, long story short, let us know in the comments, what do you think? What do you think about this particular VTuber's stance? Let me know in the comments. Okay, that is the end of the VTuber Newsy News. However, we do have some for the VTuber Spotlight. This is Libra Historia, your favorite harpy. Libra Historia. I've done collabs with Libra. Libra is very, very funny. Usually we get into fights over pizza, which is lovely. So this is Libra on Twitter/X, and this is Libra over on Twitch. So this is just a quick clip from when we played Lockdown Protocol together. So let's just take a quick listen.
Oh, that's impressive. Oh, Litter, you try. Use your deepest voice.
Oh, you know, actually, I did this on stream today. Okay, yeah, because, okay, you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Hey, baby girl, how you doing?
Wow.
So that's Libra Historia. So Libra is very funny. So go follow Libra on Twitch and go follow Libra on Twitter. Okay, guys, and that's it. That's the end of the VTuber Newsy News. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a fabulous day. Take care. Mwah! Bye-bye. So much for watching the video. Shout out to my patrons that help make these videos possible. If you want to help support the channel, you can always join me at Patreon, subscribe to me on Twitch, or become a member on YouTube. I also have links to merch in the description below. As always, I appreciate your support, and I'll see you in the next video. Mwah!